Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is Satisfaction Saturday, the satisfaction that we have in knowing that God will give us His Spirit, He'll lead us and He'll guide us, and He'll take us to the places that we've always envisioned, that is being in His presence. Today, I invite you to be in the presence of God as we go to Luke's Gospel, the 5th chapter, verses 1 through 11. This is a very powerful passage. This passage begins to remind us as Jesus goes about preaching near the seashore of Galilee. Crowds began to press upon him. People came to listen to hear what he had to say. He noticed there were 2 empty boats at the water's edge. There were fishermen who were there, who had left their nets, and they were stepping into the boat. Jesus asked Simon, "Are you the owner?" And he said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Well, push out into the water." So Jesus sat in the boat and began to teach the crowds there. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Now go out a little bit deeper and let your nets down and fish." "Master," Simon replied, "I've worked all night and haven't caught anything." I can only imagine that Simon was saying, "Oh, you know nothing about fishing. I've fished all night, haven't caught a thing. That's the reason why my nets look the way they look." But Jesus looks at him and says something so powerful to him. He tells him, "Well, cast your nets, cast them down again." And at this time, when Jesus told him to cast his nets down, he cast his nets along with his partners, and their nets were filled, insomuch so they were on the verge of sinking. When Simon Peter realized what had happened, he fell to his knees before Jesus and said, "Oh Lord, please leave me. I'm a sinful man." For he was awestruck with the number of fish that he had caught, and he knew the only explanation was that this must be some powerful man. Now his partners are James and John, the sons of Zebedee. They were amazed as well. And Jesus replied to all of them, "Don't be afraid. From now on, you'll be fishing for people." As soon as they landed, they left everything and they followed Jesus. You know, whenever we read this story, it begins to remind all of us that God always calls us from a very productive career to do something even more productive for Him. This text lets us see that God calls them right where they are in the midst of doing the best business they've ever done. They had fished all night long, hadn't caught a thing. But at the word of Jesus and following His instructions, they're successful like never before. My brothers and sisters, you and I, we can be successful in so many facets of life if we only listen to the voice of Jesus. These disciples now are going from fishermen to disciples. They find themselves once being men searching for fish, but now they become fishers of men. Jesus tells them that I'm going to change your career. You're going to have a career change. You know, I think God wants all of us to change our careers. He wants to make sure that we are in the right profession, and that is the profession of leading men and women, boys and girls, to follow Jesus. Oh, I love that song that says, "I've decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back." Today, I hope you and I can make that decision to follow and to trust Jesus with everything that we have and realize that He'll give us more than we ever could imagine. And you can continue with those blessings as you celebrate with us tomorrow, as we will have our virtual worship service at 7 a.m. and our in-person worship service here at the Fountain at 9 o'clock a.m. Always remember, you're exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and it will be bigger and better than you've ever seen before.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.